The invitation arrived in a black envelope, with her name written in a beautiful yet unnervingly precise script. Emily Harper, you are cordially invited to board the Midnight Express. Departure, midnight, Blackstone Station. Destination, beyond imagination. Your ticket is enclosed. Emily stared at the glossy black train ticket, its surface shimmering with faint, unreadable symbols. Blackstone Station had been abandoned for years, and the Midnight Express was a name whispered in hushed tones by the superstitious. Stories of a ghost train that reappeared every 30 years, taking passengers who were never seen again, lingered like an urban legend. Her grandmother's warning echoed in her mind: curiosity killed more than cats, Emily. Some doors are better left closed. But the temptation was too strong. Curiosity was a beast she couldn't tame. That night, with the ticket in her hand, Emily drove to the desolate station. Blackstone Station was exactly as the rumors described: abandoned, crumbling, and bathed in an eerie, bluish moonlight. Rusted signs creaked in the wind, and shattered glass crunched beneath Emily's boots as she walked to the empty platform. Then, she heard it. A low, mournful whistle. Emerging from the darkness was a sleek, black train, impossibly pristine. Its windows glowed with a faint golden light, and steam hissed as it came to a stop. The train doors slid open with a mechanical hum, revealing the shadowy silhouette of a conductor. "Welcome aboard, Miss Harper," he said, his voice smooth but hollow, like a voice recorded long ago. Emily hesitated but stepped inside. The air was warm and smelled faintly of roses and rust. The interior was luxurious: red velvet seats, ornate lamps, and polished wood. Yet, something felt off. The passengers seated around her barely moved. Their faces were expressionless, their eyes empty. As the train began to move, Emily glanced nervously at her fellow passengers. Some clutched suitcases, others stared blankly out the window. One man, sitting across from her, smiled too widely, his teeth unnaturally sharp. "First time," a voice whispered. Emily turned to see a tall, thin man with slicked back hair and a scar running down his cheek. "Excuse me?" she asked. "First time on the train," he said, his tone unreadable. "You shouldn't have come. Nobody leaves." Before she could respond, the conductor appeared beside them, his shadow stretching unnaturally long across the aisle. "Tickets, please." Emily handed over her ticket, and the conductor's gloved fingers brushed hers, leaving an icy chill. He punched the ticket with a loud snap and moved on. As the train picked up speed, Emily noticed something strange outside the window. The landscape was wrong. Instead of towns and trees, there were endless black plains with swirling mists. Shapes moved within the fog, tall, thin figures with glowing eyes. Her heart raced. In her panic, Emily stood and wandered through the train. Every car was different. One was empty except for flickering lanterns. Another was filled with people dressed in old-fashioned clothing, frozen like statues. Finally, she stumbled into a compartment that felt alive. The walls seemed to pulse, and a faint whisper filled the air. On the seat lay a battered journal. She picked it up and flipped through its pages. The writing was frantic, scrawled in uneven lines: "The train is alive. It feeds on fear. The engineer controls everything. Don't trust anyone." A drawing of a sigil caught her eye. It matched the strange symbols on her ticket. "Find anything interesting?" She jumped. It was the tall man with the scar. "I don't know what's going on," Emily said, clutching the journal. "Of course you don't," he said. "The train chooses its passengers. We're all here for a reason." "What reason?" "To pay." The man introduced himself as Jack and explained the train's purpose. "This is the Midnight Express. It collects debts. People who've done something unforgivable. The engineer takes them to the shadow realm, where their sins manifest." "You'll see." Emily protested. I don't belong here. I haven't done anything wrong. Jack shrugged. They all say that at first. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a blood-curdling scream echoed through the train. Emily and Jack ran toward the sound. In the next car, a woman was clawing at the walls, her face twisted in terror. Shadows wrapped around her like tendrils, pulling her into the floor. Her screams faded, leaving only silence. Her sin caught up to her, Jack said grimly. Emily's hands trembled. What is this place? Determined to escape, Emily demanded answers from the conductor, but he simply pointed toward the engine room. The engineer awaits, he said with a sinister smile. Emily and Jack made their way forward, passing through increasingly bizarre cars, a dining car where food rotted on the tables, a nursery filled with broken dolls, and a chapel with blood-stained pews. Finally, they reached the engine room. The walls were lined with grotesque machinery, churning with black, tar-like energy. At the center stood the engineer, a tall, skeletal figure with glowing red eyes and long, mechanical arms. Welcome, Emily, it said, its voice a guttural growl. You've come to pay your fare. What do you want from me? She screamed. The engineer gestured, and the shadows formed a scene from her past, a terrible secret she buried. Emily's heart sank as she saw herself leaving an accident victim to die, consumed by fear and selfishness. No, she whispered. Yes, the engineer hissed. Your guilt brought you here. And now, you must pay. Emily refused to give in. Using the journal, she discovered a hidden sigil that could disrupt the engineer's control. With Jack's help, she carved the sigil into the machinery, causing the train to shudder violently. You cannot escape. The engineer roared as the shadows closed in. In a final act of defiance, Emily activated the sigil. The train dissolved into darkness, and Emily woke up on the side of the road, clutching the black ticket. The Midnight Express was gone, but the ticket bore new words. See you next time. Like and subscribe for more chilling tales. Or, the next ticket might be yours.